and he was maliciously prosecuted by some corrupt district attorney. Do you know Jordan?
I know it's Jordan.
It's a Palmer D.A., and they were maliciously prosecuting him here in Anchorage after the judges up there all recused themselves because they didn't want anything to do with the case. And then they had he had put out some YouTube videos on it, so retaliation for his police, and arrested Mr. Lawler and took him to jail for something he didn't do.
Yeah. For filming.
For filming in the court.
What I'm doing right now.
Clerk's room, conducting business, which we all have a right to do, to hold our government accountable for their actions.
Yeah.
And he got thrown in jail for it. So that's why I kind of asked you that question.
Yeah. Well,
eventually they dropped the case because they found out, they tried to get him to do a plea deal and plead to a disorderly conduct about something else he didn't do.
5 times.
But 5 times they tried to make him take a plea deal for something he didn't do either.
And that's what they're doing. 97% of all of the people that are convicted of plea deals.
Yeah.
That's a big problem.
97%.
That's a big problem.
And that's what they do, is they get you in the system, they string it out until you can't take it anymore, and then they offer you a plea deal, and at that point...
Well, the judge in his particular case wouldn't even let him represent himself, okay? And that's our constitutional right, to go into court and represent ourselves before the judge or before a jury. She would not only not let him represent himself, but in addition to that, she made him get an attorney. He couldn't file pleadings on his own. She wouldn't let him file pleadings. She wouldn't let him file subpoenas to get his information that he desperately needed, because the district attorney would not supply him with this discovery information. And it was just terrible. So he ended up having to get an attorney, which was as corrupt as the people he was dealing with. Had to fire that one that still won't give him the documents that he gave her or him, whichever one it was. And then he had to hire another one that was just as bad. They're all part of the bar association. So he had to hire another one that found out it was more important to go to her daughter's soccer game during the hearing than actually show up in court and do her job. So she didn't show up in court that day to represent him. This was the second attorney he was forced by the court to hire. He didn't want an attorney to start with, but they forced it on him.